Golf is one of the things you're watching the pros on television and watching them hit and seeing how far they carry a golf ball with as smooth as it looks like they're swinging. And you wonder how in the world can they hit a golf ball as far as they do. And what you don't realize is the incredible advantage they have over you with equipment. They're not playing with rack golf clubs. When I got fitted for my golf clubs, I guarantee you there's nobody on the tour making a living hitting 3-irons into greens. Nobody. The longest club I wanted to hit into a par 4 was a 5-iron. And I wanted my 5-iron to carry 200 yards. So I stood out on the range and started hitting my 5-iron, and it didn't go 200 yards. And I physically bent it until it did. And then I had all my clubs matched to it. The golf clubs that you buy off the rack are basically set on 10-yard increments, one club to the next. I do not know anybody on tour in the past 50 years that have their clubs set on that small of a distance. Nobody does that. My golf clubs are setting on 16-yard increments. Now, gentlemen, that's a heck of a difference. I hit my 7-iron 24 yards further than you do already. Just the way my clubs are set up. I don't know how many sets over the years golf clubs I've sold, but I tell students, and I've been telling students for 30 years, if you'll just swing smooth, just swing inside yourself, get some rhythm and swing smooth. If that ball doesn't go as far as you think it does when you look up and see it, if it's just not going as far as you think it should be going, we'll take your gloves down and bend the sucker so it does. That's what the pros do. I guarantee it. Golfers just started the year when they have most good driving ranges, popular driving ranges have demo days. How many of y'all have been to a demo day? How many of y'all have experienced a club fitting? There's a difference in what demo days do and club fitting. But a lot of guys buy clubs at demo days. And here's what happens. You got all these tents sitting around the driving range. Got the table set up inside the tents. Golf wearing goods sitting everywhere. Out in front of the tents you have all these golf bags full of clubs, and drivers, and fairway medals. And you come up and they say, can I help you? Yeah, I'm looking for a new driver. Well, those 3 bags right there are the new drivers out. And why don't you get you some balls here and try a few of those out. If we can help you, well, let me know. So you go out there and you start hitting golf balls. And after a while, you may or may not have figured out that you like the club or not like the club. But let's say you like the club. My first question to you was, how many shots did it take you to hone that club into where you started liking it? And that's what they're preying on, is you doing exactly that. They want you to stand out there and hit it and hit it and hit it until you figure out how to make it go where you want it to go. And then they're going to make you a deal at demo day. That's not how you figure out if a golf club fits you. When I was fit for clubs, I had the privilege of letting Ross Henry with Henry Griffiths fit me. And he looked at my golf clubs, then took combinations on both sides of it, worked in and out, trying to figure out which one worked the best for me. But he'd hand me a club. The first one he handed me, he knew I was going to hook this club. It was so far off of what I was used to. He knew I was going to hook that golf club. And sure enough, I took my swing and peeled that sucker. Well, I immediately grabbed another ball. Give me another shot or two here, I'll figure that out. He didn't let me. He took it away from me. Gave me a golf club. It did just the opposite. I'm looking for this golf club to peel over there, and I hit it, and it faded. I know he was giggling at me. Took it away from me after one swing. Every club, every combination that he put together, I swung one time. That tells you truly what that golf club does. As he went back and forth on either side of the ones that I had, when he finally figured out in his own mind which combination was right for me, he put that together and he set it over on the side, and he gave me another one and I hooked it. He made another combination, gave it to me. I faded it, and then he handed me the one that he knew was right, and I just went boom. He took that one away from me too, set it over there and just let me hit that one once. Then he put combinations that I hooked and faded, hooked and faded, hooked and faded on. And then he handed me that one again. Boom. He took it away from me, and we did this again. That's how you're fit, gentlemen. You hit clubs one time, that tells you whether that club fits you or not. Pulled it. That's how you're fit. When I got through being fit by Ross, after I got my clubs sent to me, he called me up and asked me if I'd send him my Titleist 821s. Sure. So I sent them to him. He wanted to break them down and see, because on a chart, there's a line where all of my clubs fit on a line so they're all bend the same, they all feel the same. It was a couple of weeks after I sent him those clubs, he called me up one day and said, "What's your favorite club in your bag?" 7 iron, I can do anything with it. So that chart, the line, your clubs are on both sides of it. The only one that was on that line was your 7 iron. Only club. And that whole bag of Titleist 821s that actually fit the way I swung was one club. And that's about as many as you'll find in any set of clubs off the rack that will fit you. Maybe one, if that. They're all fit to the same specifications. and your chances of buying a set of clubs off the rack and having them fit you, well, Henry Griffith's got 4,400 options to fit someone. So your odds of them picking one out and making every picking golf club they make like that, you got a chance of 1 in 4,400 of getting a club off the rack and it actually being what you need. And that's a fact. And that's a fact. And that's a fact.